pause.
Oh, wow.
There we go.
Wow.
Can you guys hear us?
There we go. Yeah.
How about that? Hit the pause
That's
button.
it.
There we go.
Nice.
6:59 alarm.
Well, I didn't know.
Nice.
I hit the snooze, so
I know.
that was a.
Now you have to redo the
No, I think it's good.
intro. 3 fat white guys.
Yeah, 3 fat white guys. Take 1.
This would be take
One,
two.
This is
2,
take 2.
3. Take 2.
Take two.
All right, so if you guys have watched any of my other videos, you've seen that I've been building this shed, this prefab building, and I've slowly been getting it ready for my mining rigs. So my friends here, the other fat guys, 1, 2, and 3, decided to come over and spend a little bit of time with me, and we thought we'd hang out and
Christen.
yeah, christen the new shed. My friend Aaron and my friend Mark. And Mark is kind of I don't really know what to say about him, but Aaron is a cigar guy. And he's going to tell us about the cigars that we're going to be smoking tonight. And truth be told, I'm not much of a drinker and I'm not much of a cigar smoker. So I'm going to leave that very important information in your hands, sir. What are we going to be smoking tonight?
Well, we have our choice. Go ahead and pick
New
up
starter pack here.
You got
Chosen.
your starter pack, which is going to hold a nub fall harvest for the flavored variety, infused variety.
What is a nub? This
Oh,
short
nub.
Nub is the name brand.
Okay.
The Oliva Cigar Company.
Okay.
And you're gonna have to read over those 2 new ones. Read off the name there because those are in your packs.
Julio R.
Mhm.
Iroa? 1947 and 1961. What is this guy? Is it just a regular cigar? Is it flavored?
That was one that was recommended as a Connecticut, traditionally a mild wrapper on the outside. That was told to have some sort of a medium body in smoke. So
Okay.
traditionally,
What's this?
I like the medium full, and we're going to test those out whenever you choose to smoke them and tell me how it is.
Okay. And what is this guy? A
That's
nub?
the
That's
fall
the
harvest.
Nuance.
That's
That's good.
That's going to be an infused cigar with some fall flavors. I've heard pumpkin cream,
Pumpkin cream.
little sugar. So
Ooh, I can smell it.
a lot of different
I do smell pumpkin.
stuff that you'll get out of that one, but your palate will dictate what you individually get out of it. So no one size fits all. I can't tell you how to enjoy it, but you'll tell me. That is a non-traditional nub size. Your nubs are typically kind of short and fat.
Big, thick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're going to get about a 4-inch with a 60 ring gauge. This one was made to look like a Corona or a Robusto, kind of a 50 ring gauge, 4.5, 5-inch.
So, okay, so what is ring gauge? I don't know anything about cigars.
So that'll be the circumference of the cigar itself.
Okay.
And either length,
Obviously, larger numerical number means larger cigar.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Some would say it's going to add or detract from the smoke depending on the blend of the cigar. So, but again, that's something that you'll pick up if you if you like a brand and there's several different ring sizes or shapes. You can smoke them all and see if you get the same flavor profile and different nuances.
So does the shape actually change the flavor
It can.
or the experience?
It can. It can with comfortability, if that's a real word, but
Yeah.
Just how you smoke it. If you're a quick puffer and you hot box it, as we would say. That can change the flavor profile rather than taking it slow. But yeah, if you've got more air surface, you can change a little bit of the different flavor profiles. It'll be a subtle thing, but some can still notice it.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So, Cigar Master, what should we smoke first? And we'll get started talking about crypto.
Well, I would suggest smoking the non-infused cigar first. So if you pick your brand, yeah, it's going to be one of these two.
Okay.
Put the nub aside.
Okay.
That way you can pick up. You don't really want to pair your infused cigars with your non-infused cigars because you can get some bleed over and smells and flavors
and stuff. Okay.
And that can affect the traditional cigar.
So stubby or this guy?
That is up to you, sir.
Now, is this flavored or is this?
No, these are not going to be flavored or infused. No, I mean now when you say flavor, every tobacco product is going to have its own.
Well, like chocolate, vanilla.
Yeah, all those are typical. Wood, oak, cedar,
okay.
Those type of flavor profiles. You get some nut in there, some leather, there's coffee, whether it's espresso, macchiato, kind of, I wouldn't really say macchiato, but like a coffee bean type of smell and how you're going to pick these up is obviously the smoke as it rolls around in your mouth. And then you do the retrohale through the nose. If you retrohale, either way, you're going to get some flavor profiles that come out of that. So,
okay.
And then what you get out of it is basically you're building your own kind of tolerance to the smoke, and you decide whether you like it or not. There's no one size fits all.
Okay.
I'm gonna like something different than you will, and vice versa.
Okay. So take all the labels off, right?
That's up to you. Typically, I use the top ring, the label with the branding and all that. I usually just leave it on because what you don't want to do is you don't want to some manufacturers are really lazy in how they put those on with the glue. They can actually adhere to the outside wrapper, and if you break that, you're liable to get some air holes that won't make the smoke true. So
okay.
How'd you cut your top?
I just kind of ripped it. So how is the proper way? Okay. Well, I promise we'll get to the crypto here in just a minute. But what is the proper way to, spill that there, buddy? What is the proper way to, do you bite it off? Do you, the end of it?
If you're in the cigar field or the tobacco field, yep. I should say, your growers as they're smoking in the field may just choose to bite it off and expose. But if you're sitting around with some guys, you're probably not going to bite the end off.
Right.
You're going to cut it.
Okay.
And there's several different versions of.
I just ripped the end of it off. Is that okay too?
It's not. It's not what you want to do. Not what you want to do now. Because what you can do is damage any damage you can cause to the cigar. You want to stay away from.
Okay.
Looking for the lighter here, Mark. I think I gave you one. Yeah. Yep. So this lighter here obviously is a torch. On the bottom, it has a built-in punch. This is another way to cut your cigar. Whereas if you had your cap intact, you would just.
Oh, cool. So show me. I know I've already ruined it, but.
I'll kind of simulate.
Oh, you just punch a hole through it.
Right.
And that's what you suck through the.
Right.
Okay.
Kind of. Yeah, I'll show you yours. So yours has the cap still on it.
So do you have to go deep into it to pull out like a plug, or?
No, it's just right on the surface, and then when you come out, you have the little.
Oh, that's nice.
Crater.
So you can't do that with mine now because I've.
Correct.
Ruined it.
Correct.
That's nice to know. Thanks. Okay.
And then now when you're ready to
mic on it, yeah, let's do it.
Ready to smoke it, you're going to click that. That'll pop the cap off, and then you just want to toast the bottom of your cigar. There you go. Now you won't inhale the smoke. You'll just pull it in, fill up your mouth, and kind of exhale when you're ready to. You guys start that one. I am going to be smoking an Oliva Series V.
It's very woody. Guys, sorry about the wires all over the place. Obviously, this is a mining shed and not built it for a mining shed or what's going to be a mining shed here very soon. This is just kind of an impromptu, 3 friends getting together, talking about crypto, enjoying life, and spending some time together and shooting the bull.
Yeah.
Now, what is that one?
This is the Oliva Series V.
Okay.
And there's several different series that they offer, O, G, and V. I have typically taken a liking to the V. Medium full.
Can I see it again?
Yeah, I got to relight mine. I'm such a noob. I'm a cigar noob.
Oh, it goes up fast.
Oh, so you're not sucking through it while it's...
No,
That's what I'm trying. I'm trying to light it like a cigarette or something.
You can. I mean, that's how you maybe finish it off. But first, I usually like to toast the foot, just get it nice and hot. And then from there, you should have a good, even light.
Okay. It's like a torch.
Mm-hmm.
It is a torch.
Tell me when.
You're good. You probably need to light the center.
You can tell we're noobs.
You want to stay.
All those people out there on YouTube were laughing at us. We don't know what we're doing.
You want to stay
Aaron's the only one here that knows what he's doing.
about an inch, 2 inches away from the top of the flame. And that way the heat gets there, but you're not actually touching the flame.
2 inches away from, okay. So interesting. I think I'm getting higher off of the
Smoke.
smoke than I am the Scotch.
You will get a nice buzz on some.
I wish I could do something with that cable. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
Move it over here. All right.
All right, I'm going to lean back here. I've got some stuff I'm working on as well as we're going through here, but
Okay.
go ahead and
Okay.
carry on.
So let's talk some general crypto here. What are your thoughts? One, on NiceHash. Let's start off with NiceHash. What's interesting to me is the evolution mining standpoint. I started out with NiceHash, very simple, easy to use. What did I spend, like 3 months on it? 3-4 months before I decided to get off of
I
it.
think we went a whole, what was it, half a year? Maybe
Maybe 6 months. But so I spent probably 6 months on it, and you guys have different thought processes on it. But me personally,
Heads up, there's smoke in the office. The alarm may sound.
Smells a
The
mess,
alarm is
man.
loud.
Come on.
One of the things we wanted to test is, does the smoke alarm work?
Does the smoke alarm?
And it works.
Oh, that's awesome.
Smoke alarm silenced in the office.
Okay.
There we go.
Thank you, Nest. Okay. So one of the things that I started out with was NiceHash, and I thought it's really simple. I hit the button, it goes and benchmarks the cards for me. I can overclock it if I want. I found some problems with the overclocking, like for my NVIDIA cards that I was running at the time, which were GTX 1070 NVIDIA cards. When it would change algorithms, I would actually, the miner would crash. Now, it depended upon what version I was on, but that generally happened all the time. Even when I took the overclocks off, I always had an issue with the miner crashing. And my problem was
Smoke alarm silenced in the office.
It's a loud silence.
I'm glad she's letting us know that. But my problem was always crashing, and I would stop mining for hours before I figured out, unless I watched it like 24 hours a day. So I ended up getting tired of that and going to mining Ethereum, and now mining Electroneum. I sold all my GTX 1070 cards. I had 10 at the time. I sold all those guys, and now I got into Vega mining. And I do the kryptonite algorithm mainly. But these guys, they do various things like, you still do NiceHash, right?
Somewhat, yeah. I've switched to CG miner as the past 2 days.
Well, tell me about that. I don't know anything.
I've
heard of it before.
CG miner. I just switched
CG?
to 2 days
I don't know.
ago.
I can look it up.
2 days ago. If I'm mining a specific coin, I think that's a lot better. Depending on what crypto you're going for. But even with the I think it's CG miner.
Look it up.
Look it up, yeah.
Go ahead. Keep talking.
There's CG miner Alexis, and Alexis, I think it's 78.
It's CG miner.
CG miner, yeah. And I'm using it to mine X17 not Layer 2 Rev, but X17 for Verge coin.
Okay. So you're mining Verge right now. Is that exclusive, or do you do NiceHash?
No.
And
Well, I have one of my rigs on NiceHash, the 2-card 1080 Ti, and it's doing about $4 a day.
so that's one of the things that I want to talk about. There's several different mindsets here. One of them being long-term hold, and the other is daily profitability. So you're kind of a daily profitability guy, and I'm a straight up long-term hold guy.
I'm right down the middle.
I would say
How does that work? You
Okay.
hold it, but you sell it? That
So,
doesn't make any sense, man.
Well, to explain, naturally, I've picked a coin on a couple of rigs that I've chosen to kind of lock in and just let those rigs do the thing day to day. Electroneum, which you're the one that kind of was pioneered that thought process, and I've got a couple rigs that constantly will just hammer on that daily, and then a couple other rigs that maybe aren't as efficient on that algorithm. I've got just set on NiceHash, and just it goes, and I take my daily payouts. So
okay.
So
do you convert? Do you get Bitcoin, or do you convert the coin to Bitcoin and then cash out? How do you do that? Because I've cashed out exactly twice since I've been mining. I've been mining. I know. I've been mining exactly 10 months now.
Okay.
So I'm relatively new to the space, but the amount of time that I've spent in the particular coin that I'm mining is pretty extensive. But with that said, I haven't done a whole lot of cashing out. Now, I've looked at BitPay. I've got a BitPay card and stuff like that, but I don't really take disbursements, man. For me, long term, I want to hold the crypto and let the asset appreciate.
Right.
And you're telling me you want to cash out.
Well, I don't want to say cash out, but because I do accept that if you're on NiceHash, you're going to get paid in your fractions of Bitcoin or Bitcoin that you put on their network and allow them to utilize your equipment, as I understand it.
Yep.
And so that BTC that you're getting paid out, you can either hold just that BTC, and I guess you would be a long-term BTC holder in that aspect, and that's kind of what I would do. Whereas the others are, okay, if this card is hammering on a specific algorithm and that's the coin that I'm accumulating and I believe in the project, well, then I would be a long-term holder in that aspect and say, I'm going to keep the coin. I'm not going to sell it on an exchange. And then the same is true for the BTC. If you think BTC is going to appreciate, and maybe you're getting enough to where that appreciation is worth it, then you might hold your BTC, which is currently what I do. I think at first I was taking the BTC, buying other coins that I was also mining, and finding that card worth of BTC could buy you more than what that card on the specific algorithm could generate. So,
weird thing.
I see both sides, but go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so I'm mining Verge because I like Verge. April 17th, they have something big coming out. They're also teaming with Token Pay.
Verge,
and they're going to come out with their own debit card.
Austria. Hi, Sky Media from Austria. Thanks for watching.
Verge is, I think, 8 or 9 cents right now. And if I mine just Verge with all my rigs, I'll get $11 to $12 a day. But if I mine with NiceHash, I can get $20, $22 a day. So I think it would be in my benefit to mine with NiceHash.
Yeah, we're talking USD here.
Yeah. Mine with NiceHash, sell it, and buy Verge.
So are you waiting, or is there like a weekly payout, or what are you doing? Is it like do you wait for it to build up for a month and then you take out? Because
on NiceHash?
Well, not on NiceHash, but
on Verge.
On Verge.
No, it's direct to your wallet like ETN, like you're doing CC Miner. I downloaded the Verge wallet and send it to my address.
Well, tell me about Verge, because I don't know anything about it. I don't want to say I'm a Electroneum homer, but I am heavily invested in the product, and I've got quite a few coins. And tell me about Verge, man.
It's a secure cryptocurrency. It's sort of like Monero, but they have like a Tor wallet.
Okay.
You can the security basically, and just basically like Monero. I mean.
So what is like Electroneum? There is a purpose. They're wanting to do mobile payments. So is there anything like that for Verge? Like, is there a purpose to the coin? Is there?
They're coming out with a debit card, I believe. I think that's the big news on April 17th. The Token Pay and Verge teaming up, and they're coming out with their own debit card. So we'll see.
Hello from Portugal. So is it going to be a direct debit to USD, or can you change to different currencies, euro, whatever?
I would assume you could. I haven't done a lot of research on it.
Okay. So is that something you're going to look into, or? Yeah. Okay. So what are you mining besides NiceHash and Electroneum, or are you doing NiceHash right now at all?
I am. I've got 2 rigs that are on NiceHash currently, smaller rigs, and then I have two separate rigs that are actually on mining Electroneum. So, which I think you turned me on to that, and XMR stack.
I promise I'm not an Electroneum owner.
No, but there's some good information out there that if you do your own research, you can either get behind the project or not. Mark back here said he's into Verge.
It's a scam coin.
Yep. So we've all got our. I think Verge just recently had a
Verge of what? What are you on the verge of, sir?
Everything. The world.
Yeah. No. Okay. Well,
he's
maybe
on the
that
verge.
might be so.
He's on the verge of the next breakout in crypto.
Exactly.
I hear they just raised a lot of money through a successful campaign online.
Okay, so Doug Polk. By the way, Doug Polk, if you're watching this, I love you, dude. But Doug Polk just made a video on Verge.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
did you watch it?
Yes.
I did not.
That was a good watch.
Yes.
What did he say?
The dude is comical.
Very
The
entertaining.
dude is
I like
funny,
that.
and the dude is entertaining. And I love watching his videos.
Uh-huh.
So basically, the video was about the campaign of, hey, we made a deal, but we need your money to close the deal, which was a little odd.
I didn't see.
It was a little odd to me.
I was on.
Why would you, if you had a deal with a major deal, major NDA?
That's scary.
Companies come together to say, I'm going to give you
There's
this
value
capital.
here. There's value here.
You want to accomplish
we
this.
don't
I
need
believe
you
in
to
that.
give us $20 million.
Right.
We need, so what are your thoughts on that?
We're going to partner. I'm going to give you 10, but you need to go raise the other 10 somewhere else.
Right.
I think that's scary. I didn't see that anywhere. I didn't see it on their website. So
you should follow Doug Polk.
I should.
It was a very entertaining watch. And I actually just released, I'm not sure when you're going to see this video. If you're live, then it was posted 3-4 days ago. Go take a look, and that'll give you some additional information as to the Verge project. Obviously, there's more research to do, but Mark is a Verge follower.
I am.
So
for 2 days.
But you didn't. But you did. Okay, so 2 days.
Oh, and well, okay. I'm trying to get off of Nice Hash. I like Nice Hash.
Nice Hash.
I'm trying to get off. Verge is Lyra 2 Rev, but with the CG Minor, Alexis 78, I think Phi, or there's another one. You can mine X17 Verge in X17 Algo, which is supposed to be better. I haven't done my comparison, but I should have it tomorrow or the next day.
So Jose from Portugal asked us about graft. You guys know anything about graft at all?
I haven't actually heard of that project.
No.
Yeah, I would love to learn more about it. I'm not. I've heard about graft. I don't know enough to talk about it, but I would love to be able to give you some experience about it. But I just don't have it, Jose. My apologies. But you've still got one rig on mine. I still keep going back to Nice Hash. There's a reason why I'm talking about Nice Hash.
And let me say, Nice Hash. A little bit of background on me. I am what you. I knew nothing about crypto. I knew nothing more than to push the power button on a computer and go through the normal operations of waiting for the OS to load and start your day. Whether it's word processing, surfing the internet, all the normal stuff that we all do in our daily lives. That's what I did and knew nothing more. No networking, no anything. These guys actually have the knowledge in that regard.
Noob.
Yes.
Complete noob.
Have you built your own rig from scratch, though?
I have not built my own rig from scratch.
Oh,
so that is how noob I am.
Tell everybody who you actually had build your rigs.
These two guys.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So
just wanted to put that out there.
And with that said, getting back on Nice Hash, I was discouraged to see. We all were in the crypto space. When anybody has a breach of any kind, that is discouraging to any new technology, to any new company. So I see the argument on get off Nice Hash. It does serve a purpose for those that are just getting into crypto. Myself was, a few months ago, 6-7 months ago with these guys on their coattail. It has a slick GUI that you can just hit the play button, let it do its thing, and take your reward, if you will.
Put it in startup files, and you don't even have to click anything.
With that said, I do see the need to get off of that. That's a short-term crutch. If you have enough equipment to where you're taking the BTC reward payment, whatever, and you're able to build some type of wealth with that, then there's an opportunity for you to make even more money elsewhere, either mining your own coin or going to a different application. There's tons out there. Simple OS, Hive OS, all of these other projects seem to have their their own claim to fame, if you will. But there's a benefit to those people that are just getting into it to kind of dip their toe in and see how this works and understand it. Beyond that, I do think that it is very much learning to ride a bike with the training wheels. And Nice Ash is your training wheel. I think they're making money off of all the noobs out there that are just dipping their toes in. But as you start to grow,
I agree, man.
I disagree.
Okay, tell us. Argue with us.
On Nice Hash, I can mine pretty much twice as much dollar-wise a day that I can sell and convert to the coin that I want to invest in. Same rig, same everything, twice as much.
Okay, do you take into account
The
Satoshi? Well, no. Well, that too, but do you take into account the fact that you get the payout, they take their fee, and then you have to send it to an exchange,
which is 0% because I have Coinbase, which is probably not a good idea.
Oh, you're a Coinbase guy.
Yes. Yeah. So fees are 0 to mine it. Well, except for the fees they take for mining.
They take fees.
They take fees, and then I have no fees to send to Coinbase.
Okay, but then Coinbase to another exchange, there are fees.
Yeah.
Because I went down that road.
Yeah.
Okay, so have you done the math on the percentage that you lose when you start transferring the coin, the Satoshi over to whatever exchange? I don't know what exchange you're using, but whatever exchange to buy or purchase whatever coin that you're interested in.
I haven't done it in a while.
So, Aaron, what do you? I know a lot of the stuff that you're doing is like, let's just say Electroneum.
Yeah.
And I'm not a shill, but I am a homer when it comes to Electroneum. If you're not interested in the project, please do so.
You want to swap places? That way you can.
No. I'm good. Unless the people in the stream would like to see otherwise.
Y'all want to see me get wrapped up in this cord? If that's what you want, just put it in the comments. And
Jose, if you're still watching, buddy, Graft looks really interesting. I heard about it for the first time the other day. I definitely want to do some more research on it. I just looked at the website. It looks like a payment-based, like a Visa debit type card. If you could put something in the chat and let us know a little bit more about it, I'd love to do some research on it. And maybe in a future stream or video, we could talk about it in depth.
Wasn't that the one that you could take? It took like 50 different cryptos and you could exchange them into USD or.
I don't know, man. I know very little about the project. Problem is there's 1,900 plus cryptocurrencies, and to be an expert on them all, I would probably be busy doing research 24 hours a day. Yeah. Universal payment blockchain.
guys, and that's what you're here for as well. I mean, we're all in this together. You know, we got to do our own research, help each other out. You know, I see that it's impossible for us to, you know, go into chat, Discord, whatever, and say, you know, hey, I need help, and you're asking somebody that's, you know, potentially thousands of miles away from help in starting a rig. The noob like me saying, okay, what do I do from square one, building my rig, and then now how do I work, you know, all of this? It's impossible to do that. You got to do your own research, but at the same time, there's been a benefit for us all to kind of talk about this, introduce us into maybe things that we haven't, you know, had the time to research ourselves. And
keep talking, man. Mark's lost the cup. You've got the cup.
Got the cup. Ask for the cup. Ashing cup. But anyway, you know, that's what we're all here for. Just to spread a little bit of information as we know it, talk about that, discuss it with you guys, and you know, maybe come to a better understanding, or help you come to a better understanding as to which way to transition, or maybe a different mindset, thought process, that type of thing.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and put it out like every other YouTube channel. We are not financial experts. Please take everything we say with a grain of salt. We are not financial experts. We are not giving financial advice. We're just three fat white dudes talking about crypto. Take it for what you will. I hope you enjoy the content, but definitely don't use anything we say as financial advice or go out and make a purchase because of something we say.
Craig Grant say the same thing.
Craig Grant said the same. BitConnect!
Oh, man.
BitConnect!
One of the horrible things about this is all of the different scams that seem to be coming up and that we've seen fall and all that type of stuff. You know, hopefully we all look at this recent, the recent landscape as crypto's down in value. You know, things go up, things go down. That happens. And we all get a little, antsy, hating the downtimes. But hopefully what this allows the space to do is thin out, because it needs to. There's a lot of bad, I don't even want to call them projects, because I don't even think they were. The only projects that are involved is how to separate you from your money. And
that's pretty good, man.
Let's keep our eyes open, and I think that's where the research comes in. If there's not clear answers to questions, I've said it before, that only creates more questions. So that's not necessarily something that I would invest in if I don't have answers to questions. So the next topic could be Envion.
Okay.
No.
I know nothing about Envion.
Okay.
I'm not an Envion guy. So educate me and the audience.
All right. So Envion, as I know it, is a group that has decided to build mobile mining units, and they're doing so with
buildings with
what's
similar
that?
To this.
Similar to this, crates, shipping containers, easily movable, mobile, and stable, facilities that you can keep a lot of equipment in, and basically set at a place that is selling energy at very cheap prices. So if in
hydroelectric stuff like that.
If in South America a photovoltaic facility pops up and they're selling energy at 2 to 3 cents a kilowatt hour, it makes sense to possibly ship your items down there, pop it up, set it on there, and start mining. And then the rewards, or I'd say the output that you get from that, the way I understand is they're wanting to share some dividends, and pay those out quarterly, as I believe it. At this point, there has been no payouts, and the launch has been delayed. So obviously you're going to have things like that, and you can't go overboard and just immediately call it a scam. But naturally, you do want to follow projects that are going to update the public on a regular basis. If they're having some trouble, if they're having some problems, to me it makes sense to.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead and put that out there.
The communication.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
Did they have issues? Did they?
Right now, I think there's an expectation that these mobile mining units that we all kind of invested in the company to start seeing these dividends and start seeing something happening in the project hasn't started yet. There's been obviously pictures and posts on Facebook that they've received GPUs in bulk, and that they're building these units, but nothing's been turned on. There's probably some testing that they're going to have to do if it's a legitimate project, or there's one person that's flying around in a jet enjoying the high life on our dime, and
right.
We just don't know that. But at the same time, it would be nice for updates, company to come out and have some sort of update structure, whether or not it's delivering bad news and saying, hey, we've hit some snags, and cost of shipping the containers is 3 times higher than we thought it was, and we're going to have to rethink how we're going to do this, or guys, it's just not going to move as quickly as we thought. You're going to be looking at 5-6 months before anything can really change. If that's the case, then information should flow in that regard.
So what you're saying is they're not doing that. So they're not talking about.
Communication is horrible.
Communication's horrible.
See, and again, Electroneum Homer.
Yeah.
One thing that I have seen with Electroneum, you guys laugh, but one thing
I've
that
seen it
I've
as
seen,
well because again, I'm involved and
right? There's at least two or three announcements, Facebook postings, Twitter postings, where they communicate with the group. There's a huge Telegram chat. There's things like that. That's one of the reasons why I continue to support the project and continue to mine is because of the ongoing communication. Projects like that don't really communicate really kind of scare me after time when they don't communicate with the user base or the investors. I mean, if that's not something that they do, that kind of scares me as a
I would say
investor.
BitConnect was very communicated. They communicated.
BitConnect!
They communicated.
Hello, sir.
we've got a visitor.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, but again, information that needs to flow. And yes, there are companies that are going to come out and flood the market with what you could call useless information, which is just a way to make themselves appear that they're in the limelight, that they're, you know, under the microscope, full exposure. They have nothing to hide. But then again, you also have to let common sense take over, you know, in some aspects. You want to believe in a project. You want to believe that maybe, hey, there's an opportunity for you to get involved and, you know, maybe make a quick buck or, you know, 100-fold of that quick dollar and get out. And it, you know,
That's what we all want, right?
Yeah,
We all want the 100x, 1000x.
I tried that with BitConnect.
in my opinion, that's the, in my opinion,
We're
that's
going to
the
talk about that next.
BitConnect.
BitConnect.
in my opinion, that's the reason that the multi-level marketing is around in this world. Yeah, there's some legitimate projects that are using, you know, marketing for good purposes, and then there is what's called what I will call the hype factory, which is build some buzzwords, you know, create some, you know, some nice quick marketing, sell that, just sell the information, and then get out when the moment's right to pull the plug. We all don't want to get caught in things like that. I'm very leery of projects that seem like there's no substance behind it. There's no actual project. It's just a mailing campaign. You send your friend $1, you get him involved, and if he sends you know, $2, then everybody's, you know, sharing that profit. You know, to me, that's not a good way to do business. And
Multi-level marketing.
yeah, it's MLM at its best. So.
Borrow your lighter there.
All right, guys, we're going to do a quick touch up as we go here.
Okay, let's talk about BitConnect. I don't know if any of you that are watching this have dove off into the BitConnect, and unfortunately, if you have, well, you probably lost some money. So I'm not making fun of it here, but I would like to talk about BitConnect. We are, baby. Yes. Yes, we are. So my wife wanted to know if we were videotaping. I guess VHS.
So we have the camcorder.
CDs, the camcorder. That is still possible. So let's talk about BitConnect. So personally, I was thinking about. I was actually going to get involved in the project. I absolutely knew 100% that it was a scam, but I still thought, as a miner, as a guy that was wanting to get into the space and wanting to make some quick money, I thought I could get into it. I never did, but Mark here did. So tell me about your experience with the BitConnect project.
I put in.
BitConnect.
I think I put in $400. I ended with 700, I believe. I have it written on an Excel sheet at home. I only withdrew
Why don't you have the Excel spreadsheet here, sir?
100 and what was it, $130? So I lost around 300, 280, $300 in total.
Makes sense.
But
So you lost everything,
I
though.
lost everything. Yeah. When
Everything invested.
when it crashed, everything invested, 400 invested, got up to 700, I think, withdrew 130, and when it crashed,
What do you mean you withdrew?
Because when they pay you, it paid you daily or weekly, whatever. It paid you daily. Once you hit a certain amount, you could withdraw. I withdrew around 130. When it crashed, I think I sold them. It was 400 a token. I sold them at, what was it, 50? This is when it bounced.
They went
back.
down to like $11 or something,
Yeah.
didn't it?
It went to like 10, then bounced back up to 40 or 50, and that's when I sold. And then it went, I don't know. It's pennies
I
now.
don't even know what it is now, man.
It went to 5 for a while.
For giggles, we're gonna look it up, but I mean, at this point, it might be a good investment, seeing how the dollar's low. I'm kidding, of course.
BitConnect X.
But
BitConnect.
yeah, BitConnect X, which is
Did they drop it?
what lovingly we would
Nope, still
refer
there.
to as BitConnect exit strategy.
As of 7:45 p.m. Central Standard Time, I am in Texas. We are in Texas, United States of America, 4/14/2018. BitConnect, the BitConnect token is now at $1.41.
Amazingly,
So-
it still has value.
Yeah. Craig Grant's buying them all.
Craig Grant has bought every token out there.
Yeah.
He owns all of them.
What is the market cap for?
Look up Devore. Devore is another BitConnect that I invested in. I got in at 60. It went to, I believe, 160, 70. But I lost everything on that too.
The other,
It's not
quick
showing
dollar.
up on
Quick
CoinMarketCap
dollar.
anymore.
not even showing up on CoinMarketCap. So, CoinMarketCap, what is that?
CoinMarketCap is
Yeah,
the
if you know what crypto is, you know what.
if you know anything about crypto at this point,
Yeah.
CoinMarketCap is basically the go-to for current pricing, and you can look up information of markets and circulating supply and volume. It's coinmarketcap.com if you've never looked it up, but you can look up any coin that you want that are currently out there. And I'm wanting to say, let's see, there are currently 1,568 tokens out there. So
It's a for all the noobs out there. If there's anybody signing in that maybe is just again trying to dip their toes in, it's a good resource to use for if you are wanting to branch out and separate yourself from the nice hash and kind of go to your mining pool hub, your any site that's going to allow you to kind of pick your algorithm and mine that directly. This is going to allow you to kind of see what is the most profitable if that is your strategy.
What to mine?
What to mine is excuse me.
Not accurate.
Excuse me. What to mine? These guys were talking about CoinMarketCap, completely different tool. Noob talking here again, so set the record straight.
Very new. No, that's okay.
Crossing up the terminology here.
That's okay. You can be a noob.
So CoinGecko is basically the same thing. I like to look at this. It has new ICOs that are coming out in a day or two, or next week, next month, whatever. It's a good place to look for if you're investing in ICOs. I don't know.
Maybe I'm a homer, but I'm not a shill. There are issues with the coin. There are issues with the blockchain currently. In my opinion, and this is just an opinion, the business as a business is run correctly.
It's a great marketing coin.
Okay. So we will disagree on that, and we will discuss that. But the coin as a whole is run more like a business. They are trying to get deals with larger companies. They're trying to talk to different vendors, different cell phone companies, things that can bring them to a larger market, or what people say mass adoption. Unfortunately, they are very good with the marketing aspect. Nothing negative here. Every new business is going to have its, pitfalls. It's going to have its learning experiences, but there, from a technical aspect, there are a couple of deficiencies. And with that being said, every new company, and this company is less than a year old, and the coin has been out for about 6 months. So with that being said, coins or / companies that are in their infancy phase are going to make mistakes. They're going to have issues. The thing is, as an investor, is from my standpoint, I'm looking at long-term goal, long-term, what is the company going to do? How are they going to be able to navigate the market, navigate the challenges? How are they going to overcome the challenges? If the challenges set them back, they fold when the going gets tough, that's not a coin that I want to invest in. For me personally, Electroneum, they've had a lot of challenges. They've had a lot of issues. There's plenty of videos on YouTube about all the issues that they've had. But Richard Ells, the owner of Electroneum, the CEO of Electroneum, one thing that he is a businessman. And one thing that he is a marketing guy. So from a ICO standpoint, from a getting the name out, working at new business relationships, the guy is gold. The guy can talk to other business moguls. The guy can talk to other business ventures and work out relationships and deals. Where if I look at other cryptocurrencies, I tried it from an investment standpoint. I try to look at what is this coin? What is the roadmap? What is this coin going to do in the future? What are they wanting to do in the future? If they've got the opportunity to do something different, do something new, that's something that I want to personally invest in. And again, guys, this is just my personal feelings. This is not investment advice, but my personal feeling is if a cryptocurrency is run more like a business than it is a, no throw off on Dogecoin here, but a Dogecoin. If it's just a joke, if it's just a, what is it?
Meme.
A meme or a token that holds a certain value. Obviously, there's monetary rewards in that if you can hold it long enough and sell it at a higher rate than you bought it at. But if there's true potential in the coin, if there's true, we can sell this to millions of people around the world or billions of people around the world, like Electroneum is wanting to do, then I think that particular coin, no matter what it is, has a potential to go a lot farther than your, XYZ coin that just says we're going to be a store of value, which quite frankly, I kind of feel that Bitcoin is. Not throwing it off on Bitcoin, but a lot of the altcoins have really progressed on the thought process of what Satoshi Nakamoto came up with when he said, I want this to be a store of value. I want this to be able to be used decentralized without a banks. some of these altcoins have got that right as far as the thought process or the next evolution. So let's go back to BitConnect for a second.
I actually have some questions about Electroneum.
Let's talk about it.
So what's up with the 51% attack and the less than one Electroneum attack?
Less than one.
Less than one ETN being thousands of them. I don't know, what is it, a second running through, and how are they dealing with it? It sounds like they're, I don't want to say, I own Electroneum too, a few thousand, so I'm an investor, but they're not my main focus. But what's up with the 51% attack and the, what is it, they're flooding the network?
Yeah. So right now on Hash Vault, I have 1,000 ETN that I've mined that has, on Hash Vault, the settings, you can set them a range of sending to your wallet at predetermined increments. So I'll have that set to 50. Right now, that has accumulated up to 1,000 of that particular coin, and they have not paid out. Now, apparently, there's some congestion trouble on the network, which, you know, I'll kind of let Chris take over and explain that a little bit. But those are the things that a guy that's just getting into this space is going to have trouble with. Things not working the way they should be, and who to point blame. Is it something I'm doing wrong? Is it something that is inherent in the project? Or is it a third-party mining solution, somebody you hooked up with, a pool that just doesn't have their settings straight? So I'll turn that over to you, Chris.
Yeah, so I do mine Electroneum. I do mine the Kryptonite blockchain. I'm a proponent of the Vega series mining card, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But Hash Vault has had an issue. You know, in the developer, the admin, whatever you want to call them, for Hash Vault has come out and said, you know, we've got issues, but we're trying to rectify them. He's open and letting people know that there's issues and they're trying to work through them. There are some issues with the ETN blockchain. Without getting too technical or over technical in this discussion, there are some development issues. There are some development issues with the Electroneum blockchain. For you guys that don't know about the ETN project, it is a fork of the Monero project, and there's been a lot of talk about ASICs and how they have affected and how they will affect the blockchains that they are put on. Monero has just went to a version 7, which has basically forked the blockchain.
Monero 7.
What's that?
Monero 7.
They call it version 7, yeah. So they have essentially forked off. ETN or Electroneum has yet to do that. There's I think 20 something different. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but there's 20 some odd different kryptonite algorithm coins. Electroneum being one of them, Bytecoin and all sorts of other coins out there. Turtle coin. Yeah, turtle coin. But Electroneum has yet to fork. One thing that I noticed as a miner is immediately, as soon as the Monero blockchain forked, there was a definitive drop in the hash rate on the network for Monero. Immediately, within 24 hours, there was a significant increase on the ETN chain. The reason why the fork happened was that they wanted to change the algorithm so that the ASIC miners, which are basically specialized computer chips, specialized miners that mine an algorithm very, very good. And they mine an algorithm very, very good to the point that they're better than most GPUs. The problem is they mine much better than most GPU guys, guys of our level, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40 cards can put out. So the problem with ASICs is they can essentially wreck the quote unquote small guys like us. With that said, when they changed or when they forked the algorithm, basically that would brick or kill the ability for the ASIC to mine that particular algorithm. When they did that, I believe that a large portion of the ASICs that were currently on the Monero blockchain probably forked off to other kryptonite algorithms, ETN being one of them. At that time, there are now pools or individual miners out there that are mining at a hash rate that could possibly get to and or above 50% or 51%. Again, without getting too technical in this discussion, that 51%, when you own 51% of the hash power on the network, there are certain things that you can do transactional wise that you wouldn't be able to do if you had 49%.
Influence has its privileges.
That's true. So with that said, there seems to be some issues currently with the Electroneum blockchain, specifically hash vault, which is what Aaron and I have been mining to. I've currently have about 2,000 ETN tokens that are stuck on the hash vault payout. Yeah. So I changed over this morning to Nanopool, which I was mining on before. I like both pools. I like hash vault. I like Nanopool. Honestly, the only reason I'm on hash vault is because of their mining dashboard. And as you can see in the background here to the left of Mark, there's a screen here, and that's actually going to be, once I get the rigs placed in here, I'm going to put the hash vault monitor here. So as soon as the issues with the ETN blockchain are worked out, hash vault gets whatever issue they have worked out. I'm going to go ahead and have that placed there. So maybe the next live stream you see, we'll be able to see that. But I don't know if hope that kind of answered the question. But
So I use Mining Pool Hub, and they also blocked the ETN payout.
What do you mean blocked it?
Like they're not paying out either.
Now, do you think that's specific to the pool, or do you think that's specific to?
It's due to the attack and the attack, whatever it is.
Okay, so again, the noob would ask, what does that mean for me? Where do I go? What do I do in that situation? There's really only so many things you can do from my limited knowledge on that, and that is go find another pool that is paying out. If that doesn't exist, just ask yourself again, if you're still wanting to be devoted to the project, is this something that is a short-term hiccup, or is this something that is potentially going to be long-term? There's no answers, there's no communication, and at that point, you would do your own research. Maybe you use that time to your second coin, your third coin that you want to devote.
Another question: what happens when ETN forks? The mining pools are still holding your ETN, and since they forked, they can't pay you out in the new ETN fork. So you've been mining for a week or two and you get crap for it. Or is it like Monero where you have Monero Original, Monero Dash Classic, Monero 7? Are they going to pay you on that fork, and where do you sell that at?
Those are all good questions, and unfortunately I don't have any answer. I would hope that the issue of payouts would be resolved prior to any kind of fork, but, and I don't mean to divert from your question, but I just got on Nanopool, etn.nanopool.org, and if you don't tell me that there's ASICs on the ETN network, right now the top miner has 26 mega hash. Just to let you guys know, I have 18 cards and I do about 34, 35, 36 kilohash. So if you do the math, you would be talking about hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of GPUs to be able to have that kind of hash power. So what that tells me immediately is these are not GPUs. These top miners, and there are the two top miners, one at 26 mega hash, one at 23 mega hash, and the next highest is at 8 mega hash.
That's Bitmain and
yeah,
Antminer.
Damn Bitmain. So that tells me that the quick, easy fix for Electroneum is probably a hard fork.
And there's two schools of thought there. I mean, are you for ASICs? Are you not for ASICs? I mean, would you get behind an ASIC if it was available to you? Right now,
let's talk about price too.
Right now, the hang up. I mean, there's lots of things. Price is one of those. Availability, I'm going to say, is the number one issue. Is it available to you? We've all had sites where you have to, in order to get products at a cheaper rate, or to become competitive and help your ROI, you would go seek things. Maybe Alibaba. That's a site. Or go secondary.
It's a whole other topic.
Yeah, eBay and that type of stuff. But
who's eBay?
Are these ASICs?
I do eBay a lot, guys.
Can they be acquired easily? And the question there is, they haven't been able to be acquired easily. There have been too many people that have stated they've placed orders, they got a box of bricks. That could be secondhand. They went through a friend and got scammed. It could also be that, this is simply, the jokers behind the scene, building their equipment that they know they have an advantage of, and basically taking what's supposed to be a decentralized space. And I mentioned that ownership has its privileges. If you have this type of equipment and you can mine and basically cancel out or equal to hundreds of GPUs, you're now hitting the smaller guys, the guys that are just getting into this really hard. You're making it difficult. So I'm gonna say, in my own opinion, I'm not for that. I think that everything, if it was GPU related, maybe ASICs, have their place, but they're not readily available. Chris mentioned price. They come at a hefty price tag, and it's not worth it to me. So how do we find a solution?
I got a solution.
Go for it.
Okay, solution is everybody in the GPU mining group on Facebook. Let's make a group of 6, because you have to purchase 6 ASICs at one time, right? So you split the cost. Everybody gets one. Make sure you get the first batch. Done. Doug Polk said.
Doug Polk
got
hit on the head.
I think it was him. He got an ASIC and he was getting $500 a day.
And
because he had the first batch.
And if you wanna watch this later and actually slow that down to a half speed so that you understand what Mark just said, you can do that. But yeah, if you can get your hands on it, it obviously has potential to work out, really good for you. Right.
Yeah.
So the first batch is, I don't remember what the exact price was. What's that?
What are you guys drinking? I want to share.
Do you want to share what you're drinking?
Bacardi Gold. I just figured
it's a woman's drink, but
drink.
It's a lady's drink, but we're drinking actual Scotch and cigars. So
Nothing wrong with rum. The bat
it's
I like rum.
feminine.
the
I
bat
like it
juice
because it has a bat logo.
the bat juice has its
That's why I like it.
it helps us think clearly. So go ahead, Chris.
It's lubricant for the lips.
Yeah, you're talking about ASICs coming out and being $10,000 to $12,000, $6,000 on alt specific ASICs, and that's a lot of coin or a lot of money to throw against something that, one, you don't know that you're going to get.
Right.
Two.
What happens?
Two. It's delivered. And as soon as it's delivered, your project that you were going to mine decides that
Forks you.
we don't want you to clog our network, so we're going to fork off and allow you to have to scrounge for a plan B or find another use for your ASIC specific miner, which we all know is usually specific to one or a couple different currencies or coins, projects, if you will. So there's an inherent risk that you're getting involved with, and it's just not worth it, in my opinion.
Okay, so you buy it. Let's say you put $15,000 into a ASIC miner. You have to get 5 of them or 6 of them, right? So if you get 6 of them, you spend all that money. You wait 4-5 months to get the ASIC, and then when you get it,
Best case scenario,
you get the miner, or you get the box, and then you have a fork, and you were wanting to mine Monero.
you will be able to hold a lot of papers on your desk in one area.
Or hold your doors open. And those papers will stay intact.
That's a lot of money to keep papers on your desk.
For
$15,000. Or you sell to someone like me who's just getting in
and doesn't know. Like the USB gecko thing.
And you continue the scam to get your money out.
Oh, Lord, I forgot about all that.
What's that?
Yeah, no.
Gecko.
I started with the gecko.
We both bought a gecko. I had a 1080, 210, had 3 980 Ti's, and I wanted to see how a gecko would do. I bought one, I think, for $80, and it was getting about 5 cents a day. Or no, it wasn't even getting 5 cents a day.
No, man, it was like 1 cent.
Yeah, 1 cent a day. I sold it on eBay, made my money back plus about $10.
That's pretty good.
So
I think I sold mine for $90.
Now,
my gecko.
Is that sustainable? No, it's not. He lucked out. He could have been BitConnect with the ASIC, and he got lucky. How many of us are going to continue that luck and take our chances at the same time? Your luck's going to run out, and you're going to end up with a huge paperweight. I unfortunately can't get behind
paperweight.
Yeah.
But if you get an ASIC that's not for something that forks all the time, like Monero, then like a new coin that comes out
they're forking because of the ASIC, though.
So get on a coin or an algo that doesn't fork all the time, and watch for new coins that come out on that algorithm. Once they come out, put your ASIC on it, bam. You've got 100,000 of whatever coin.
No, that's true. I've actually thought about that.
And hopefully it goes up in value.
Yeah, I've thought about that.
Or the price of aluminum somehow skyrockets to where you can sell that as scrap and make your money back, which will never happen.
It's just the case, though. What about the chips?
Yeah. Well, all of that you could throw away because aluminum obviously has its benefits, but until all of aluminum is a scarce metal, and Apple releases their new product, it will not hold any value. So we're all risking something here. We're risking our time. We're risking our resources. Do you want to risk the resources in buying an ASIC that you, one, may not receive, two, may receive, and the algorithm says, we don't want you a part of our community, and just forks you off, to say it lightly, and you're left with it. It's not worth it. I think I've said that before, but that's my position on it. That's a noob's standpoint on it.
No, ASICs are the demon. I truly believe that. They are centralized in the decentralized world.
Only because they could easily, not easily, if you have enough money, you can do a 51% attack or more. That's the only negative thing I see from them. What about Ethereum and their proof of stake? Have y'all been following that?
Yes, not following, but keeping tabs on. And
are they going to screw everybody over?
I think it's a nice concept, proof of stake. Proof of stake, just, I think you buy into it and hold, and if you start getting payments because of what you hold, I'd say that's a nice incentive. But from what I've heard, if they were going to go that route, they would do it slowly, which would still allow somebody with GPUs to get on there, get your coins, mine it, and then hold for that benefit of being proof of stake, or invest into it with your money. But is it worth it in the long run? No. If they went strictly proof of stake, now your GPUs are basically worth what an ASIC would be.
So what wallets are you guys using?
I am using Exodus, a combination Exodus.
Exodus, tell me about that, because
Exodus is a wallet that I think has a nice little look to it. The team behind it,
from the GUI standpoint,
yeah,
like it's pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Okay.
But it also offers a variety of coins, which I like. There's a lot of wallets out there that are specific to one coin. When you can have a bunch of different projects in your wallet that holds value, there's a benefit to that. So you can kind of see, if you will, like a retirement account, you can see all the different, avenues that you're invested in, and you can see the pie chart and how you're dispersing your funds. That has value beyond just the clean look. But Electroneum is also one that I got started on. Chris here was the first one of that. That has it has a benefit. Obviously, it's not as pretty on the GUI standpoint, but it's a good functioning wallet as well. That's going to be for, say, Verge coin or Bitcoin. So
yeah, I've used Electroneum, or Electrum. For Bitcoin, but I haven't used it in a while. But I've never had any issues with it. The GUI has been really simple. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's been no issues with it. I've got nothing to complain about. But as far as...
Heads up, there's smoke in the office. The alarm may sound. The alarm is loud.
You might want to turn that off.
I want to see what it does. And it went out. So if you've seen my other videos, I think it was video 5 or 4 where I installed this. Apparently, our cigar smoke is making it mad. Looks like it went out, though.
maybe Ness is just checking into the types of projects that we're invested in our cigar smoking.
That's right. Cigar smoke and the NSA and FBI and everything else. So
they have verified.
I know they're already watching this, but just wanted to make sure that It is working correctly,
Chris,
and
I
they
saw-
can hear us.
They
I
have
saw a
verified
video
that we are
today.
smoking a taxable item that we have paid our applicable taxes on and
Tobacco tax.
tobacco taxes, and we are shooting straight.
Let's get back to BitConnect.
Okay.
You lost money on
I
BitConnect.
did.
What was the chief purpose? Let's break this down. I looked at it. I knew it was a scam. Mark looked at it. Aaron looked at it. We knew it was a scam, but we decided to. I never put any money into it, but Mark did.
So that's when the 980 Ti's were making about $8 a day. So
That was a while back.
That was a while. Well, it was November-ish. Yeah. So I took some of that money and put it in BitConnect, $400, and I lost it all. I thought I could get
$400.
I thought I could get in.
That's half a graphics card,
make
sir.
my money back, and
Gosh.
and everything after I make I was gonna pull out until I got my $400 back, and then
what
everything
he
else
said.
is profit.
That's what
Okay.
he said.
Yeah, but that's what he said. What actually happened?
Oh, it didn't go that way at all.
But did
So-
you know, as an investor, did you know that, hey, this is shady?
Yeah,
This
I
is
so
probably.
when
I
BitConnect
might lose my money.
when BitConnect X, so I left it in there. I got $100 and something back. Aaron let me know they're coming out with BitConnect X, and he said X is scam, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, yeah, it probably is.
It was an exit scam.
It was. It was. I didn't know it at the time, but I hadn't looked at my BitConnect in weeks, like maybe even a month. So it was just off my mind. I was going to let it go, and whatever happens, happens. And what happened wasn't the best. I lost my money. Everybody did.
Yeah, a second. Yeah.
Now, if you go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
No, the stream paused for just a second.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What?
When you lost,
Oh,
you lost your
So I
money.
lost my money. It didn't go the way I thought it would. I think we all three maybe. I know me and Aaron said it may last another 6 months, a year is what we were hoping for.
That's what we were hoping.
Yes,
I
but
I was going to put $1,000 into it and hope for the best.
Yeah.
But before I did that, it went south.
BitConnect X came out. Everything went south.
What was BitConnect X? Was it a?
That's their like GDAX, I think, right? As an exchange, BitConnect Exchange. I don't even know if that's still up. I haven't looked at it.
Beyond an exit strategy, I believe that the project, I'm going to say that loosely, was simply they were making money, and everyone wanted to make money when times were good. And as long as times stayed good, there was a potential to make money. Whether they were investing everyone's dollar on exchanges, making returns, and then fractioning off that for what they call daily interest payments, or whether it was just something pretty, I believe that once that crypto market went down and then looked like it was in a downward turn, they couldn't sustain their previous model. So then BitConnect X, beyond just an exit strategy, was another cash grab to either stay afloat and ride the wave back up,
or make more money.
or make more money
before they leave.
before they leave.
Yeah.
So one of two things are going to happen there. It doesn't really matter because they're not around anymore. Or excuse me, they are at $1.
They are $1.
$1 a token.
Or whatever it is.
That is just so Guinness can hold the time on how long they were operational. But
I can't believe the token is still there.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Do you
Well,
have
got
tokens?
BitConnect.
Do you have tokens?
I think I sold them all. I think I sold them all at maybe $45.
Wow. Well, that's better than $1.45.
And those who sold at $5
or bought it
Are
$5.
still, yeah. That's
made a
you know,
little bit more money, but still lost in the long run.
Poor
Because
Grant.
let's be honest, we were all
Craig Grant,
yeah. Oh, my
Trevon
gosh.
James,
Oh,
poor guys.
Nick, what is it? Nick? Something?
Nick,
What's it? Nick?
Crypto Nick.
Crypto Nick.
Yeah.
Crypto Nick.
I feel sorry because he's underage. He was.
Bless his
He
heart.
was a kid.
Bless his
Yeah.
heart.
He didn't know any
I feel
better.
bad for him.
But you were an adult.
You
were an adult.
I don't
and
push.
you-
I didn't push BitConnect like you push ETN. You guys got to get into this.
I don't push ATM.
He
I'm
pushes
not a
it all the
shill.
time. He's not a shill, but he pushes it all the time.
But just to you guys, I don't get on,
No, yes.
I don't do the YouTube live streams and say ETN, ETN, ETN.
ETN $40 in 2 weeks.
If it was $40 in 2 weeks, I would retire.
True. Now, he never made those claims. So those that are making those claims, hopefully they have some sort of backing as to why they're formulating that. But let's be honest, we're not getting into this thinking that that's going to
Let's
happen.
be honest.
We're-
John McAfee said $30.
Right.
So John McAfee is the crypto king.
He's going to eat his own.
He will. He will.
You think he will eat his own? Let's talk about John McAfee.
I don't know.
Will John McAfee eat his own?
No.
No. In 2020.
What was his projected Bitcoin price?
Well, there was two,
Uh-huh.
but one of them was $1 million by 2020.
At 1 million, I think he will. Well, we were saying
The problem is in 2020, Mr. McAfee, if you're watching, I love you, but
You got to back it
for
up.
president.
you got to back it up,
You,
brother.
you got to back it up.
So 2020, I'm gonna eat my own.
I
If
wonder if he has
Big-
enough money to push the price up. I thought he said 500,000.
he's a wealthy man, but I don't know. That's a
that would
lot
take
of money.
a lot
man.
of money.
100,000 would be a lofty goal.
Well, we were in 2017. We were saying 5,000 is the
If
goal for
Bitcoin was
2017.
100,000, think about the rest of the market, though. We'd all be multi-millionaires.
Yep.
At this point.
Yep.
In 2020.
Mhm.
When Lambo, when Moon.
When Moon. It may not be 2018, but it might be 2020, according to John
No,
McAfee.
I can see 100,000. I can see 100,000.
I can see 100,000 too, but $1 million? That's lofty.
But we were saying 5,000. We could see 5,000 in 2017, and that went 4 times as much, almost.
Well,
5.
so according to CoinMarketCap, it's over 6,000 right now.
Yeah.
And that's the lowest we've seen in months.
That's 8,000 right now.
Is it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it hit 8,000.
It went back up to it's 8,100.
You're kidding.
8,100.
It is. Yeah.
It was at 65. I think was the low.
CoinMarketCap says
$8,092.
Oh, well, I'm showing 8,054.
So
Dang.
But it's
I was thinking
$5 billion. It's going to have to
Guys.
grow quite a bit.
guys, the Satoshi has been dead for over 100 times now, and we're still kicking.
what Bitcoin. What's it called? When something dies, is
Obituary?
obituary. Bitcoin obituary. Shoot, that's 200-300 times.
Yeah. So, getting off the John McAfee thing,
Getting off the John.
getting off
I've
John.
got to use a John. I've got to pee really bad.
Well, excuse yourself. This is going to be a long live stream, but I don't know what Bitcoin has been in the kind of the low right now, but historically, what is it? June, July, August, we really start to get the pump. and that's every single year. So do you guys think that this year will be any different? Do you think, I personally feel that a lot of money is going to be pumped back into the market in the next couple of months?
I think
it's already happening
I think so.
slowly. But Mark, what do you say?
There are what's the news website for Bitcoin? There's a news website for Bitcoin. There are investors fixing to invest in Bitcoin. Big people, so I think it'll bring the price up. I hope it goes up this year, but
CME.
It's not the CME. I hope it goes up this year, but from 2013 to 2015, it was almost flat.
Yeah.
So I could see a couple of years of it being flat.
Do you think it's going to be flat for the next couple of years, though?
I hope
honestly.
Not. I hope I maybe one or two, but I hope not. I'm hoping it goes up this year and it just takes off. I think it would really take a big country doing something like, what was it, India,
China, Russia.
Well, where they canceled the $500 bill or $1,000 bill, and everybody was rushing to the bank trying to get rid of them and exchange that fiat for a lower value fiat. I think it'll take something like that to push Bitcoin.
The Zimbabwe dollar.
Yeah, something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's talk about fiat. So, in our country, here in Texas, United States, U.S. dollar. U.S. dollar is generally used in many countries as kind of the standard.
Sorry.
Excuse yourself.
Excuse me. Ooh, there's a mic there.
Don't break the microphone, please, sir.
I don't know if I can walk straight. I'll try.
That rum will do that to you guys.
So the U.S. dollar is strong, but let's be honest. Let's look into the future. In 20 years, the reason why we're interested in cryptocurrency is because we feel, as miners, as people in the cryptocurrency space, is that there is a strong possibility that cryptocurrency will eventually replace the U.S. dollar. Am I right in that thought process?
Yes. It will replace potentially many different currencies beyond just the U.S. dollar. But long term, I think there could be a shift into many different currencies being viable, and call it a project, call it a currency. Long term, there could be a one currency, one that shines.
What do you think it is? Is it Bitcoin? Is it
the grand scheme of things? One could say Bitcoin just because of the value that it holds right now, and because it was the, if you will, the pioneer into this whole space. But I think that there's going to be some things that need to be addressed on the Bitcoin network, transactions that happen quicker, that can happen.
The Lightning Network?
If call it the Lightning Network or any other spin that comes along that allows transactions to go a lot quicker, fees to solidify into knowing exactly what it's going to cost to send your money, whether you're sending 50 of that coin or whether you're sending hundreds of thousands. I think that's going to be the benefit and the project that allows heavy traffic and fast transactional speed to be viable. When you're going into a brick and mortar or online retailer, you're going to want that transaction verified quickly. You're going to want to know that your order's been received. You're going to want to know that whatever you're purchasing is on its way. And right now, you just don't have those updates. If you want to go in and pay for a coffee, you might be waiting. Depending on what the traffic is like on that network, you might be waiting 2 days for that to get verified.
Okay, Electroneum, the patent that they just came out with, the instant lightning, whatever they want to call it.
Lightning. Oh, I
Wait
don't
a
like the
second.
Lightning
I don't
network.
like
It's
Lightning.
bad. It's
Okay.
centralized. It's a negative thing. No Lightning.
Okay, let's talk about that. So, Electroneum just put out a patent, technology that they have that basically states that if you make a purchase with a vendor, that vendor can see instantly, just like a Visa or debit, any kind of debit card, MasterCard, that you have the funds available to make the purchase, and they can go ahead and sell it to you. Then on the back end, the purchase, transpires as usual. So it may take, 20 minutes, it may take 20 hours, but instantly they're able to say, yes, there are X amount of funds. X amount of funds are equal to X amount of dollars or cents.
A handshake.
A handshake. So with that kind of technology, I really think that really pushes crypto forward.
Absolutely.
As long as there are smart contracts, I think that's the next step for
Let's
ETN.
talk about smart contracts. Give us your take.
So I had my car diagnosed, which the diagnosis was $99. They said it would be, because they had to take my tank down. All in all, the diagnosis was $600 because they had to put labor in there to see what the issue was. I didn't agree to pay $600 for a diagnosis. So what happens if I want to dispute that charge, which I disputed with my bank, and I don't know where it is. There's 90 days for them to respond, whatever. Fiat currency, my bank can, dispute it with them. I'll dispute it if they come back. With smart contract, I think the next step with ETN would be smart contracts, because what happens if you pay, you want to get your money back and they don't agree with you.
That's a good point.
So I think that's the next big, well, not next big, but I think that's something crypto will have to overcome. Because if
I
you
think, that's a
you-
really good point.
if you sell
I really
something,
never thought about that.
if you sell something on eBay and you accidentally send them $2,000 instead of $200, you're screwed right now, unless they're honest people.
Right. And we know.
We know 90% of the people out there are not.
Right. So then there's the whole thing of the disputes that we all have. A vendor chooses not to service you in the way that they told you they would,
Which is 90% of the time.
They delivered a product that was not as described, and you're trying to go and get some sort of retribution for that. And with the crypto space right now, instantly everything has with this fiat, the credit card transactions, the one thing you have is a entity that's willing to do an investigation. And if they find in favor of you, and let's be honest, the buyer holds all the cards in that
You
situation.
call them up, you say,
Yeah.
I need my money back. This was fraudulent, whatever the case is.
2 days,
They
a
give it
week
back.
later, if it takes that, they're going to say, okay, we found in favor of you. We're refunding you back the money. You're good. You're protected. Right now, you send that money and you have the similar dispute. There's absolutely no way for you to get that back unless, like Mark mentioned, they're just an honest retailer, which I believe what's going to come down to is you're going to have retailers that are going to have some thinning that is going to happen, to where they're going to have some sort of a review process that if many people have been scammed or they felt that they've been scammed, they're going to cease to operate, just because there's going to be people that don't trust them at that point. less money is going to be spent with them, and they'll die off naturally.
Something like the BBC for crypto.
Right. The only problem is that there's going to be
Or
time
BBB.
that it takes for that process to kind of go through, and how much money did they make off before they finally shut the doors, and who's going to hold them accountable. Well, that's the argument for the centralized, side of things. Regulation,
Which
all
would
that.
be a good ICOs or companies to invest in, or smart contract, or people who can regulate. Well, not regulate because but smart contract
That can verify.
Yep.
Basically holds the transaction in an escrow, if you will, or some type of an holding account that allows there to be some time that all of that can happen. And if that's the way we move, then that has some strengths, I believe, in further, kind of pioneering and keeping this going. But right now there isn't anything. It's all, if you will, it's all faith-based. Is your project gonna carry on? Is your project gonna stay legitimate? And are you protected? So we're going to the fall harvest.
This is good. I like
This is really good. Very sweet. This is the nuance.
Switching over to the Nuance by Nub. That's what we're smoking. The fall harvest. It was obviously a release last fall, and has a lot of good flavors to it.
It's sweet.
Yeah, the cap is sweetened. That is what you're tasting.
The cap?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Just the
What you're
right here.
what you're putting your lips to each time you smoke your cigar. So, but back to crypto.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, that is really good. So how much does a cigar like this cost?
That, or instead of smart contract, limiting price instead of $100,000 or hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars.
Talk about smart contracts.
What is a smart contract?
Party A agrees that Party B did what they're supposed to, and you can release the money.
An escrow account, if
Yeah.
you will.
Exactly.
So hold the cigar 2 inches, 3 from the flame.
Yeah. You don't want to burn the outer wrapper. You just want to toast the foot. That's what you basically want to light the inside. And then as you're smoking it, the outer wrapper will burn with the cigar.
I've noticed because the Java, if you lick your lips, you have a taste.
Mm-hmm.
That's really, really good, man. Tastes good.
It was Scotch.
So, smart contracts. Let's is it a ERC20 thing or Ethereum based or
I don't know. I've seen ERC20, but I've never really looked into them. I've just heard about them, ICOs and some tokens I guess, I don't know. I see, whatever. Yeah. I don't know.
Good.
No, we're gonna have to get a new chair next time.
I'm afraid it's gonna.
3 fat white guys are gonna break the chairs.
Yeah.
We're too fat. We're too
White.
we're too white.
And we're 2 guys.
3 guys.
TO guys.
2 fat, 3 guys. Up.
What is that? Oh.
It's the nest.
Heads up. There's smoke in the office. The
Heads
alarm
up.
may sound.
Heads
The
up.
alarm is loud.
The flames are beneath you, but
She
heads up.
always says the alarm may sound.
Alarm may sound. She's got a.
Oh, you
Just
silenced
letting
her.
us know.
Yeah.
You silenced it. Is it still
I told her, shut up. That's what I told her.
Excuse me.
I think I'm drunk. Yeah.
Ready. In the office. This is only a test.
No.
Cancelled.
Okay.
Someone's building next door also, I think.
Across the street, there is somebody building a 2-story building.
Oh, nice.
Heads up. There's smoke in the office.
Crap.
The alarm may sound. The alarm is loud.
Thanks, Siri.
Yeah. Thank you, NSA. Thank you for watching us. We feel safe. You got
Okay, Siri. Hey Siri.
Thank you, Siri.
Hey Siri. What? How come yours does it?
I hit it.
It's your voice?
Okay, so tell me. This,
Oh.
You had to put it right there.
I did.
So the end of it is flavored, or the entire
So
stick?
the tobacco leaves, when they're in their stable, if you will, there's infusions that are happening. Basically, if you will, if it's incense that are burning that has a certain flavor to it that the leaves are then picking up as it's going through its natural, fermentation, process. And then as those get rolled into the cigar, it's going to have those different types of flavors in the tobacco leaves. Now, what others will do is they'll sweeten the cap, which is what you're gonna draw through. And each time you pick that up, that's what you're tasting.
So how far is the cap? 1 inch, 2 inch?
You see, there's a little line there at the top that basically looks like it's just the wrapper that's been a piece of a wrapper that's just been stuck over, and then that's what you're tasting. It's either been dipped or sprayed or something
With
that gives
what?
you
This is very sweet.
a sucrose, some type of sugar.
Heads up. There's smoke
we
in the
are
office. The
making
alarm may sound.
Yes.
The
The
Nest
alarm is
mad.
loud.
Yes.
The alarm is loud. Yes.
Thank you, Nest.
He tested it earlier.
Thank you for looking after us.
What does that say?
Does it wear off?
It does as you smoke it.
So eventually it's just like
A regular cigar, but then you'll still have the taste of the tobacco leaves as you're smoking it. So
get back to crypto.
yep, crypto and a comfortable chair.
Told you could have this one.
3 fat white guys. Your chair is really leaning back. There you go. It's kind of. There you go, buddy. There you go.
All right. Just needed a shed to prop me up. Thank you, Chris.
Mid-age, fat white guys married, talking crypto. Right here.
We are sponsored by. I'm kidding. We're not sponsored.
Bacardi, you're drinking it straight from the bottle.
I'm kidding.
So what is it like to drink women's alcohol?
It's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
So again, I'm an ETN homer, but not a shill.
He's
You are an investor.
hardcore salesman for
No,
ETN
no.
to his friends.
Well, you're my
When I
friend.
worked with
but
him, he would tell me about it every day, every single day. ETN came out with this. You really need to invest in it.
if you really love somebody and you really care about somebody, you want to see them grow. You want to see their financial portfolio grow. Unfortunately, Mark disagreed with most of what I said.
I like ETN. I have, I think, 10,000 now. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm not going to say that for tax purposes. They go investigate. No, I'm kidding. I have a couple hundred.
Yes, you have 200 ETN.
We'll say 200.
So it's like, let's see, it's 2 cents right now. So it is $10.
Yep.
You got $10.
I got $10 of ETN.
For shame.
So, what is it about ETN? Let's talk. What is it about ETN that
Electroneum.
you do? Yes,
For the noobs.
that you do not agree with. What is it that you do not see in the overwhelming ability to reach massive numbers of people?
I think it can reach a lot of people because he's a great marketer. It's a great marketing coin. And it's reached a lot of people. But
It has.
But
yes.
I see no use case in it right now.
So
hold on. Once they add, if they can add the ability in their app, which is only for Android right now, not Apple, right?
they will get Apple.
They will get Apple. They will
Yes.
get Apple. If they can add a payment method in their Android app to use Samsung Pay or something like that, I would think it would be top.
Pay, baby.
It'd be great.
Okay, but they're working on that.
Which they're working on it. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Another thing is it's difficult, and I'm speaking from someone who is behind their project. It's easier to invest in something that is more real to you, as in it's functioning, it's being developed in your country, it has already some sort of use in your country, wherever you're at.
Like Verge, which is coming out with a debit card.
And unfortunately, right now, their focus is not in the West. It's Eastern right now, so it's difficult to have that faith in a project that is outside of your region.
And it's not really
Do
that.
you feel? Well, okay, go ahead.
They're getting people to collect and gain ETN, mine it, and whatnot. But how do you spend it? You can't spend it right now. I mean, you can sell it for Bitcoin and then into cash. Or can you sell it from ETN to fiat?
So I heard that there is a small exchange that is allowing that, but it's for Euro, not USD.
Okay.
Eventually, that will happen. But as far as Bitcoin, I can still take Bitcoin and transfer it to my BitPay card and spend it just like cash.
And that's what Verge is doing, hopefully soon.
Right. So regardless of the cryptocurrency,
Like 10x, which is another good. Well, I can't say good. It's another one you can invest in.
okay, tell me about that.
It's a debit card.
Okay.
They're the ones that their video was the one where he goes into McDonald's and he buys hamburger or something with
Yeah,
his
I've seen that.
Cinex card.
Yeah.
So
And I think that's basically a bridge the gap solution, really. Long term, if everything goes the way of cryptocurrency, you start reducing the need for those type of things to function.
would that bypass what's it called, the 25% tax? If you go from fiat to purchasing something, would that bypass your capital gain taxes?
Not in the way the laws are written right now.
So you'd have, how do you do that though? Because you're in fiat, you take your 10x card, you buy a Lamborghini, and you pay 8% tax or whatever.
Win
for a car.
Lambo.
For a car, would
Win
that
Lambo.
bypass your 25% capital gain tax? That's
I don't know, man.
The way the laws are written right now, it does not prevent that. You would actually be taxed on anything that you spend, whether it's a conversion.
I was told it's only taxed 25% capital gain when it's moved into a spendable account, which we're not financial advisors, whatever, blah blah blah. But yeah,
Don't listen to us.
don't just forget everything you've heard on this
Stream.
stream. Interesting.
So, Mark, I still want to go back to the whole BitConnect.
Why?
I kind of want to.
BitConnect?
I kind of want to beat on you for the BitConnect thing.
I like
Mainly
money.
because of our friend.
You
but-
think it hurts me and you want to
exactly. I want to extract some pain.
No pain extract. It was
So
all
you
experimental.
lost money.
I lost money. It was all experimental. I thought I could, put it in, have it in there for 6 months to a year, and be making $200 a day.
How about hash flare?
Hash Flare's another one, and
Hash
Genesis
flare.
Mining.
Let's talk about it.
I'm in Genesis Mining. I haven't even checked it in a couple months. Even when you said go check your payouts, I didn't check it.
Because
I don't care. I put my money in there to hopefully, I hope it grows. I invested $30 in Genesis Mining. I've gotten $50 out. I did invest $180 in December, which took effect in February 30th, I think. I believe it was February 30th or February, the end of February. And I've received $50. So I'm right now, if they crashed, I would be down $160, which I should probably check them. I haven't checked them in a couple.
where
in
do
a
you
month
need to
or
break
two.
even at?
I need $160 more.
Okay, how long?
I don't know. I haven't checked it. I put my money in there and I haven't looked at it. Like with ETN, Verge.
The frustrations of
The
crypto.
dumb white guy.
Dumb white. I put my money in something hoping it goes up.
Well, hash flare. Talk about hash flare.
Hash flare, or there's so many out there. Sun Mining, Genesis, all of these companies that say you don't have your own equipment, you can still mine. Again, it's a trust. Are they going to deliver?
No.
You don't think?
No.
Genesis has delivered to me
Okay.
my first payout plus $20, which I'm negative 160, but
Have cards that mine for me.
If you want,
I don't trust other people.
If you
ROI
want something done right,
the ROI is
you
better.
normally have to do it yourself.
The ROI is better with GPU.
And it's all a trust factor. Does cloud mining, could it be the future? It could be, but then you're centralizing something. You're allowing a company to act as you times 100, 1,000, whatever that case may be, and allow them to keep investing in their own, and taking that to a state of
Where they can control it.
they can control it.
Do a 51% attack.
and you've been paid your pennies by allowing them to do it. If you will, it's almost investing in a company like a stock would be and hoping for some sort of return. Whereas if you're mining, you're doing the same thing, but you're doing it for yourself, and you're able to dictate what you can do with your rewards. You can hold it, let it increase in value, or you just don't have as much of a risk as what if I don't get paid. If I don't get paid when I'm mining, I know usually within a few days, a couple weeks, that this is a viable solution, or I need to go to another project. With contracts with cloud mining, or some sort of a guarantee that later you will be paid X amount, or you will accrue this much, with allowing them to hash for you, you have no guarantees that you're going to get paid, and you have a much longer time to wait to find out if that's going to come to fruition.
Yep. That's why I'm not investing into any more mining contracts or anything like that.
Why did you originally?
I thought it would be a better ROI, but I didn't do my math. I figured I could invest $100 instead of $800 or $900 and get my money back. And I'm getting my money back. It's just going to take a lot longer than it would if I would have saved up the money and bought a GPU instead.
He thinks.
I think I'm getting my money back. Yeah, it's not guaranteed.
So
I invest my money and I'm prepared to lose it, in the hopes that 1 out of the 10 times I invest, I'll get a 10 times or 11 times return.
Okay, so law of averages.
Yeah, there's no law.
There is a law.
There's no law in crypto.
There is a law of it. Okay, well, GPU mining.
That's what we all want to talk about.
Yep.
GPU mining.
AMD, NVIDIA. Let's talk about the second RMA of a new card that you have.
So the first wasn't an RMA. The first one was a 980 Ti. It had a water cooler. I bought it on eBay. It was used probably for a couple of years, whatever. I mined with it and it crapped out on me. I cut it open and I learned what it was made of. So I learned from that.
You cut it down the middle and then
I cut open
split
the
it
water
open and
tube.
looked at it.
Yep, took out the screws, poured out the water. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That
Put up the
knowledge
water.
is worth
Yep.
.000.
It was worth $300.
Exactly.
$300.
Zero Satoshi.
Because he does
Yes.
not write code. He does not do anything that's important to anyone.
Unless I wanted to get the Kingston 1080 Ti. And
What is that?
I'm kidding. Kingston 1080 Ti is Kingston, the dude that works at NVIDIA. You're going to pay $200, $300, $400 more for those cards because he has overclocked them, and they're the guaranteed top of the line 1080 Ti you're going to get. Guaranteed.
Kingpin.
Sorry.
Kingpin.
Kingston, yeah.
Kingston.
His memory is failing.
Kingpin. Yeah. At only a fourth of Bacardi. Or a third. I would say it's a third.
Are you drunk already?
A little bit.
So, second RMA.
Second RMA, it was a 1080 Ti DOA, dead on arrival.
Which one?
Not the Extreme Edition. The Aorus 1080 Ti Gigabyte GTX. Not the Extreme Edition. There's two different ones.
Yeah.
It crapped out on me when I got it, so I'm having to
Crapped out how?
I plugged it in. It wasn't recognized. Plugged it into a different miner. Wasn't recognized. Reinstalled the OS. Spent a lot of time on it. Plugged it into my main computer. Plugged a monitor into it, and it was just static. It was static. If you adjust best performance and put at best performance, that's what it looked like.
Move the antenna to the right.
Magnified. It was crap.
Huh.
So I have that.
NVIDIA.
NVIDIA, yep. Aorus 1080 Ti GTX GeForce GTX, whatever, I don't know. Yeah, so I need to ship
So
it
are you
out.
still in process,
ship it out.
or is it?
I filled it out 2 days ago. I've had it for a month. It's been sitting there. I haven't filled out the RMA. I did it 2 days or yesterday. I did it yesterday, and I
It's
have
one
to
of
ship it.
the Newegg cards.
Newegg. Yep.
Not their fault, but obviously a manufacturer
I
issue.
waited more than 30 days, so I'm not going through Newegg. I'm going through Gigabyte.
Are they working with you well, or
It was easy. Just register at their site. Register, get your email, click confirm email, whatever. Go on their site, explain what happened, and then it took probably 7-8 hours for me to get an email back that says we approve your RMA. Here's the shipping label. Attach it to the outside of the box. I don't even have to pay shipping, so that I'm aware of yet.
Huh.
So it was pretty easy.
so? Have you already sent it to them, or
I'm gonna
have they
ship it
sent
out.
back?
I'm gonna ship it out this week. Pretty easy.
I've yet to deal with AMD on anything like that. AMD, so far, from what I've seen, the quality of the different cards is vastly different. They they generally run in a certain clock rate. Some cards do not run in that same clock rate. Unfortunately, for a miner, for a non-gaming person, they don't perform as you would expect them to perform. Unfortunately, when you're trying to mine with them, what you expect to mine is not necessarily what AMD expected the card to run at. So, from a mining standpoint, the card may perform correctly in a gaming environment, running your standard game, but from a mining standpoint, they may not perform. So technically, AMD has met their the performance standard, or done what they were supposed to do, but unfortunately, it's like the silicon lottery. They tend not to all perform the same way. The clock rates, the GPU clocks, the memory clocks, unfortunately, they all don't run the same. So it's kind of like the silicon lottery with the AMD card.
Is it the memory? Is that the only thing you can? Because I know you can tell the difference between cards on the memory, right? That's inside of them.
Samsung, Micron, they don't seem to. The Samsung doesn't necessarily seem to run as good as the Micron, or vice versa. I've seen better clock rates on the Micron versus the Samsung, and then the Samsung better clock rates versus the Micron. Unfortunately, it's kind of like again the silicon lottery, but when you buy a used card, when you buy even when you buy a new card, there tends to be a difference in the runnable rate at which the card operates, and that translates into the hash rate of what the card will do on a given algorithm.
I haven't really seen that with NVIDIA.
NVIDIA seems to be pretty standard across the board.
Just keep the string going until it stop.
Any comments, any thoughts, Aaron?
Well, I think one, I'd like to say that we will structure this next time in a way that has topics that we're going to go down and talk about maybe a little bit more in depth. This was kind of more of just a wrap session, if you will. Guys talking about our interests and, just guy time. So for those that have tuned in, it's all a gamble. Do your own research. Right now, we're going the way of the GPU, not ASIC. That's where our investment is. That's what we believe in. That's what we're behind. The shed, all of this type of stuff is just to help us grow and learn and, be a part of the next wave.
Decentralize the government. I'm
You
kidding.
think?
I'm kidding.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Looks like there's still some people on. Appreciate you watching, taking the time to watch and hopefully learn something. You guys have a great day, and thank you for watching.
Thanks, guys.
Talk to you later. Bye.